It's just so satisfying to be part of UETN and knowing that they do whatever it takes to meet the needs and benefit their end users. And it affects all of us. It takes all of us, and that's what I like. I'm Linda Lane. I'm an information coordinator with the Utah Education and Telehealth Network. I became a professional student way back when. I started out at the University of Idaho, and it was so remote, and I got so homesick for friends that went to Idaho State College. That was before it was a university. So then I changed schools and went to Idaho State University College, and then interrupted my schooling because my job at the phone company took over, and it was hard to be traveling, being in marketing, to be traveling and trying to take classes way back then when remote learning was not something that was offered. In the mid-90s, I had the opportunity to come to the University of Utah because my job changed a little bit, so I could actually take some classes. And from 94 to 97, I was a part-time student up here at the U and fell in love with the campus. And if you look at my office, I'm a rabid Ute fan, heavily decorated with Ute artifacts. One thing I've learned, you never stop learning. And my learning curve on this job has been tremendous. My functions primarily deal with the education piece instead of the telehealth piece, but it all folds together. I've been here almost 19 years. I retired from a long career in telecommunications and looked forward to retirement with travel and some volunteer work. And after a couple years, I'm going, something is missing. I missed the structure and the routines of going to a job. So when an opportunity came my way to come to the campus, not as a student as I was before, or an avid football fan, but as an employee, I thought, this sounds like something I want. So I did apply for the job and started out part-time at the front desk, loving meeting Radio West people for Doug Fabrizio and Mary Dixon's contact people. That was so entertaining. But then the opportunity came to join the E-rate team. Basically, with our E-rate program, we're providing Category 1 E-rate services, which is the internet access. And we file the applications. Another group within the E-rate team files E-rate applications every year for those sites that are under contract with us. And our contracts are 5-year contracts, and every year for the duration of those contracts, we have to file an E-rate funding request for those E-rate funds to offset that we apply to the cost of providing broadband services to the schools and libraries. That's one thing I love about my job, especially. I was given the freedom to create it. With Sabrina and Melinda, I had that opportunity. Here's what we need to be done, and go for it. So I created a contract repository. I sent emails out and asked everybody, if you've got E-rate contracts sitting around in a pile someplace here and there, bring them to me. I'm going to set up a centralized repository. It will be online, and there will be hard copies of it. And after a couple years of getting that all established, I'd come back to my desk and there'd be contracts sitting. And after a couple years of setting up that contract repository, I saw the need to create a summary sheet for each contract. Thumbing through contracts, trying to find information, the sites and everything can take time. So I created a summary sheet that goes with every contract and every amendment. And it gives you all the critical information about the vendor, the RFP number, the term, and then it lists the sites, and with the sites, gives the site name, whether it was new service or expiring service, and the speed, and the line of the RFP that site appeared on, so you could go back and actually look at the site. And it evolves. That's one thing. You can't be cut and dry with databases. You need to be flexible enough to meet the needs of the people that use them. So just within the past month, I've added 3 new columns to the master entity list that are going to save me a lot of time and others. You just realize what you need after you use it. So I don't do much in the winter. I kind of hibernate, but come mid-March through October, on Sunday mornings at the crack of dawn, for the past 20 plus years, my golf foursome is on the golf course at the same golf course. And we don't play serious golf. Golf is one of my passions, and gardening. I love to go home after work and go out in the yard. A friend got me started on a little flamingo project. One morning, they got up, they went out to their yard, and overnight, a flock of about 50 pink plastic flamingos had been placed all over their yard. When I saw that, it made me laugh, and I thought, I want a flamingo garden. So I have created over the years, birthdays, Christmas, and whenever I see a special flamingo, I have created about my own flock of 50 and have it in a secluded area at my home, out of the way so nobody will take them. But it's fun, and I have a couple neighbors that enjoy coming over and checking out what's new. One of the things I really enjoy with my job is the people piece. Something I've missed with the pandemic. All of a sudden we're at the office one day and the next day we're being sent home to work. I did work from home for a year. The Zooming is a wonderful tool, but I miss that personal interface. And I realized that one of the teams I worked with a lot, the procurement team, was in the office. So after a year, I did come back to the office and started rebuilding some normal time. I tell new employees when they come in and they're introduced, they bring them around and introduce them. I always say, you're going to find that even though you might be working remotely, it's kind of a family. It doesn't matter if you're at KUED or KUER or UEN, we're all kind of it's a tight-knit, nice group. And that's part of what makes working so fun. I could stay at home and veg out in the garden, I suppose, or play golf all day long, but I like doing something meaningful. And I've really gotten in touch with the education stuff. It is so critical. My dear friends have grandkids that they call me Auntie. And I see these kids on their Chromebooks and their little notebooks, and they're just going whiz bang, and I'm sitting there going, what? Well, we don't have books anymore. And I just think, wow, this new generation, they're learning coding in grade 3. And one of them is in a Chinese immersion school. And you just think, wow, the opportunities for the kids now, and just this little piece over here that I can say, I work with the Utah Education Network. It's rewarding. I really, the people, the what we do, that's why I'm still working.